What's good everyone, Charette here, bringing you guys another one of my discussion videos. Deck we're going to be discussing today is Buster Blader and why I believe it isn't the best of decks and the problems behind it and why it can't really be competitively relevant until it gets some decent support. And it has got some decent support, but we need like some top tier stuff, if you know what I mean. So the first problem with it is the restrictions on the fusion. So what the fusion says is the main problem behind this is it says it gains 1,000 attack and defense for each dragon type monster your opponent controls it in the graveyard, which is obviously really good because if you have Buster Dragon, all their monsters become dragons. And then it negates all, it stops your opponent from activating dragon type monsters' effects, so it's a pretty good lockdown with these two. But the only problem with this card is, it does piercing as well, it says this card cannot attack directly. And that's the biggest problem with it. The fact that it can't attack directly really limits the power of the deck. Because your opponent's monsters on the field, they're not a threat to you because most of the time you'll have this lockdown. And I'll discuss another thing about this lockdown later on. But most of the time you'll have this lockdown. But the problem is Buster Blader can't really put out enough damage anymore. Can't really put out enough damage because their fusion, their main boss monster, can't even attack directly. And I really think that's a pretty stupid restriction. Because to be honest, even though this is kind of a lock, you have other soft lock cards like ABC Dragon Buster, and he doesn't have any restrictions, barely any. He uses his effect once per turn to banish something, and you contribute him to bring back your free pieces, and then you can make rank 4s with them. He doesn't have a restriction where he can't attack directly, despite being better than this monster. So the fact that Buster Blader, the fusion, can't attack directly really stops the deck from putting out enough damage because a lot of the time you're going to put a lot of your resources into this. A lot of the time you might not even be able to summon this and you're just kind of relying off this a bit. And that's why people have decided to like mix the engine in with like decks like Blue Eyes and stuff. Because it's just like you have access to dragons, plus you can put more damage on board with stuff like alternative. But obviously that's the problem with the deck. A deck should be able to function by itself without having to include other engines, in my opinion, for that deck to be good. So for example, a good example is Necros. Necros were able to function 100% on their own. People did include like one copy of Jin Release or Rituals, and then obviously the Manju and Senjus, but that was just for searching and preparation rights. But as an archetype, even if you took away Manju, Senju, Prep, and Jin, the archetype would still be able to function relatively well because of cards like Brio, and because of cards like Unicorn, and because Kaleidoscope and all the ritual spells can like banish themselves from the graveyard to search other ones. So the fact that this deck can't really function by itself effectively is one of the main issues with it. And the next issue is the unnecessary trap cards. If you guys don't know what I mean by that, so like Destruction Sword Memories and Destruction Sword Prologue. Prologue's a good card. I haven't got it on me to show you because I still need to pick that card up for the rest of my Buster Blader deck. I got basically the core. With Destruction Sword Memories, there's a trap card that says discard one Destruction Sword card and then splash summon a Buster Blader monster from your deck, and then you can banish it from the graveyard for a Miracle Fusion like effect. Obviously that's really good, but the thing is, if they really wanted to make this deck strong, they should have made this a spell card. It's no big deal. The discard one Destruction Sword card is kind of odd because if you want to mix this with other decks, even though I've said the deck should be able to function by itself, if you want to mix this with other decks, then it can come as a problem because I've realised once you mix this with Blue Eyes, Memories is kind of hard to resolve because you don't always have a Destruction Sword card in hand. And the fact that cards like Zodiac Barrage are at free, which give you a free like Zodiac monster, which then you can like put a billion Xyz on top of and gain so much advantage, is kind of unfair that they made this card a trap card just because it summons like one of these guys, even though these guys aren't even that good. This guy's affects decent equipping monsters, gaining attack points. Buster Blade is just normal, gaining attack point from dragons. It doesn't even special summon anything all that good. So the fact that they made it a trap card is 100% unnecessary. With Prologue, it says you send a Destruction Sword card and you send a Buster Blade monster from your deck to the graveyard to special summon a Buster Dragon, and then it gets destroyed later on. So the fact that it gets destroyed the next turn isn't good because the point of Buster Blade is for lockdown. You want to keep your lockdown monsters on the field. So the fact that Buster Dragon dies at the end isn't really good. Plus the fact it's a trap card makes it inheritively slow. It's like they've just put too many restrictions on the cards. And that seems like the problem with many decks. With Blue Eyes, it's just like, yes, it has some restrictions. That's obviously, I'm talking about legacy decks here. But is not extremely restricted, where like, oh, you all their good cards are trap cards, or some of their cards have clauses like you can't normal summon or special summon other monsters like a Red Ice Fusion. So I really think like Konami have chosen which legacy decks they want to be good and which ones they just want, okay, we're going to give you support, be happy, buy our product. And in my opinion, that's pretty much it's like scumbag tactics. Like, okay, we're going to make Blue Eyes, which is our best legacy deck, the most expensive, and then Buster Blader, which isn't all that expensive. We're just going to give you like these mediocre cards. So that's another reason why Buster Blader isn't the best deck in the world. Obviously, I don't really mean the best deck in the world. I just mean a good deck. I don't know why I even said that. And then one of the other things is it's kind of small, but it does have a huge impact. So Destruction Swordsman Fusion, you fusion summon one fusion monster that lists Buster Blader as a material from your extra deck, and his material is one Buster Blader. So the issue is this guy does not count as Buster Blader in the hand. So if this is in the hand, you can't use fusion to fuse this guy to summon the Buster Blader, which is fine because yes, you can use this, but it's kind of a problem because with Destruction Sword Master, he's searchable off of your main searcher, which is the baby dragon, the whelp, but the normal Buster Blader isn't searchable, so a lot of the time you find it impossible to even use Destruction Swordsman Fusion to summon to summon the fusion in the first place. So the fact that this doesn't count as Buster Blader in the hand, in my opinion, is really stupid, and it only counts as it on the field and graveyard because they've already made Memories a trap to get it onto the field in the first place. And I understand that this is quick play, so you can do all your stuff in your opponent's turn, but good decks should be able to function on their turn as well, rather than in just in their opponent's turn. So that's another reason why Buster Blader isn't like as strong as it could be. And the final reason is one of the biggest reasons, which is draw power. It actually doesn't have any draw power. And like you can include cards like, let me just get it, Sacred Sword of 7 Stars. You can include cards like Cards of Consonance, and you can include other cards like Allure, because these Destruction Swords are dark. But to be honest, these Destruction Swords are really bad. You only really want to play the level ones. These are kind of situational and don't really help out that much and cause bricks. Plus, they're not even dragons. One's a spellcaster and one's a machine. So, it doesn't have any draw power. Blue Eyes had Trade-In. And to be honest, I think Trade-In was specifically designed for Blue Eyes. It was made so you discard a Blue Eyes to draw 2 cards. In my opinion, Konami actually made that card with the intention of to discard a Blue Eyes. That's how it was meant to be played. So Blue Eyes have like Cards of Consonance, which even has Whitestone on the card. And Cards of Consonance is much better in Blue Eyes because you don't really want to discard your Destruction Sword cards because you need to normal summon your Whelp to get your search in the first place. So that's one of the issues. Like, it doesn't have draw power, so it can cause the like pure deck to break. I've seen people put like Felgran, Blue Eyes, and Pendulum Magicians in this deck, and whereas that's a cool concept, it's just like it makes this deck casual, because when you put 2 decks together that aren't really that good, Pendulum Magicians, yes, it's a good deck, but is it the best deck? No. And then you take Buster Blader, which is a mediocre deck at best, and then you put it with Pendulum Magicians. It's just like, if you add a mediocre deck to a mediocre deck, you aren't instantly going to get a good deck. You're going to keep your mediocre deck, and it can add to inconsistency as well. The best decks are decks that are able to use engines to help out their deck, but their deck can function by itself. For example, True Dracos. True Dracos are really good. You play the pure version, it's 100% viable because Masterpiece is broken. Everybody knows Masterpiece is broken. Whoever says Masterpiece is not broken, then I don't know, but I don't know what crack you're smoking, to be honest. But if you can put the Zodiac engine in there, because Diagram works with Ramram so well, because Ramram special summons back a Zodiac when he's destroyed. It's like Buster Blader, because of how like linear, not really linear, but I think you guys know what I mean, how like stuck to the archetype it is. It's hard to splash other engines into the deck because every card is everything is too linked together. You can't really be flexible with the deck, and that's one of the problems. That's one of the problems with it. So I have kind of droned on a bit about how bad this deck is. Obviously, I still enjoy this deck and putting it with Blue Eyes. It's a fun deck to play. But Konami, if you really want to make this deck good, please give us a spell that like searches like Buster Blader plus the fusion plus the monster. We just need a good card to get back to like allow us to like carry on using our resources and efficiently like manage our plays, and we need another fusion. One fusion plus one synchro. Like, you haven't given us enough. The synchro is good. It turns all your opponent's monsters into dragons. It can bring back Buster Bladers. Oh, there's one more thing. There's another restriction on this. It says if you do not control a Buster Blader monster, then you can target one Buster Blader in your graveyard and special summon it. That is 100% unfair. Does cards like Zoodiac Chicanine say, oh yeah, you can detach one, special summon a Zoodiac back, all good, but wait, you're not allowed to control any other Zoodiac monster? No, it doesn't, because Konami choose which decks they want to be good and which decks they don't want to be good. And yes, it's a business, I understand that it's a business tactic, but still, you guys shouldn't put unnecessary restrictions on it when the deck is like trying to function. It's just like, well, okay, I got my Buster Dragon, I got my Buster Blader on the field, but I can't bring back another one, so I can't really do much. And that's the issue. That's why I feel like Konami like are handicapping decks for no reason except for profit, and that's not right. They should make this deck as strong as it possibly can. If it's because the concept is kind of flawed. The whole thing where it's relying on your opponent playing dragons or changing your opponent's monsters to dragons just to do like your good plays isn't really the best thing in the world. So the whole concept of Buster Blader is kind of flawed in that respect, that it can't combat all decks. So please give it some good support cards. So thank you guys for watching. This has been one of my longer videos. I did this video because somebody, if I can just check your name 1 minute. Somebody said to me that, you're going to have to remind me in the comment section, but somebody said to me that they like my channel because I do more than one video a day. So I thought, you know what? Thanks for that comment. I'm going to give you a third video today because like you guys support my channel. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. This has been Shurrit. Peace.